Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the most incredible biological processes there is, childbirth. It's a journey every single one of us has taken. So let's get into how it actually works. We usually talk about labor as something that just happens to a baby, but that's not the full picture. The real question is, how does a baby actively navigate this incredibly complex passage? So we're going to look at this not just as some clinical event, but as a true active journey. So what is labor, really? Well, at its core, it's a series of regular uterine contractions. These contractions cause the cervix to change, all to prepare for expelling the fetus and the placenta. And this whole journey, it often kicks off with some pretty clear signals. You might have heard of the bloody show or the big one when your waters break. Okay, to really wrap our heads around this journey, it helps to think of it like a story with three very distinct acts. These are the three main stages of labor, and each one has its own unique part to play. Here's the big picture. Now, for a first pregnancy, stage 1 is the marathon, right? It can last around 12 hours. Then you've got stage 2, which is the final sprint to the finish line, usually about 1 to 2 hours. And stage 3? That's the super quick final act. This kind of gives us a mental roadmap for the whole process. Now, that really long first stage, it's best to think of it in two parts. As you can see, it starts off slow and steady. Contractions are milder, they're farther apart, and the cervix just begins to open. But then, things kick into high gear. The whole process accelerates, with contractions getting way more intense and frequent to get to that finish line. And this right here, this is the magic number. 10 centimeters. This means the cervix is fully dilated. It's the ultimate goal of that entire first stage, and it's the big green light that says, okay, it's time to move on to stage 2. And welcome to stage 2. The cervix is fully open, and now those powerful uterine contractions get a really important partner, active maternal effort. Yep, this is the famous pushing stage, where all the energy is focused on one single goal, moving that baby through the birth canal and out into the world. And just when you think it's all over, there's one last, very short act, stage 3. So after the baby has arrived, the uterus contracts again to deliver the placenta. It's super quick, but it's an absolutely crucial step to make sure the whole process is completed safely.
So let me simplify in 1 minute, okay? So stages of the labor, there are 4 stages. So first stage is true onset of labor to full cervical dilatation, that is 10 centimeter, okay? So first stage is divided into 2, that is latent phase and active phase. In latent phase, the cervix dilate up to 0 to 3 to 4 centimeter, okay, and the time limit is variable. But in active phase, there is dilation of from 4 centimeter to full dilation, that is 10 centimeter, and the cervix dilate at a rate of 1 centimeter per hour. Now coming to the second stage, where there is full cervical dilatation to the delivery of the baby. It will take 30 minutes to 1 to 2 hours, okay. So next is third stage, from the delivery of the baby to the delivery of the placenta. It will take 5 minutes to 15 minutes, okay. And last is the fourth stage. It is post-placenta recovery, that is stabilization of the uterus. It will take 1 hour. So these are the 4 stages of labor.
So we've covered the what and the when, but what about the how? How does all this actually happen? Well, to get that, we need to look at the 3 critical factors that are really driving labor, famously known as the 3 Ps. This chart lays it out perfectly. First, you have the power, which is basically the engine, the sheer force of the contractions. Then you've got the passenger. That's the baby, and its size and position are, of course, super important. And finally, you have the passage, which is the mother's pelvic pathway. For this journey to be successful, all 3 of these elements have to work together in perfect harmony. Okay, this brings us to what I think is the most fascinating part of the whole story. See, the baby isn't just a passive passenger being pushed along. Oh no, it performs a series of incredibly precise, intricate moves to navigate the passage. This is known as the cardinal movements of labor. Just look at this incredible sequence of events. First, the baby's head goes down and engages in the pelvis. Then it does something brilliant. It flexes, tucking its chin to its chest to make the smallest possible shape. As it moves deeper, it rotates internally to line up with the shape of the pelvis. Then it extends its head back as it comes out. Once the head is out, it rotates again to help the shoulders line up. I mean, each step is this clever, necessary solution to the really complex puzzle of the birth canal. It's amazing. So, the baby has arrived, but the journey isn't quite over. In fact, many clinicians now talk about an unofficial but absolutely vital fourth stage of labor, and that's the immediate postpartum period. This first hour is just so crucial. It's a time for really close observation to make sure the mother is recovering safely, monitoring for any complications. But just as important, it's this golden window for the very first moments of bonding, for skin-to-skin contact, and often the start of breastfeeding. It's really where the journey of labor ends and a whole new journey begins.
So here's the bottom line. Childbirth isn't just some simple mechanical process. It's a dynamic, interactive dance. It's this beautifully choreographed performance between mother and baby, guided by hormones and instincts that have been fine-tuned over millennia.